everyone, lead trading with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen. We're continuing to work through Day Trading 101. Today is episode 3, determining an actual good stock to trade. We're building on top of episode 2, where I introduced the worksheet. Now, if you don't have the worksheet, definitely go to StocksToTrade.com/free training. Drop in your email. You'll get that weekly watch list where I give you stocks that I run this worksheet on, 5 of them, in your inbox every week. Then you also get these worksheets. I mean, I want to get them to you so you can print them out, or you can do them on screen. A lot of times I do that with my iPad and a stylus. Maybe you've seen me do that before. But anyway, go to StocksToTrade.com/free training to get all of the materials. Drop in your email, 100% free. Get them now. And if you're jumping ahead on me, go back to the beginning episodes and start through, because I'm going right into it here. And if you haven't watched the first few episodes, you might get a little bit lost. Okay, so let's get started. You can see I've got my day trade long sheet on screen here. Remember, when we're going long, we're buying a stock. So we're going to look for that best stock to buy on the day. And I'm going to talk you through an example from today, which checks every box. Okay, so now keep in mind, as I talk about this, don't focus on the ticker, focus on the criteria, because what I want you to do is learn from this and be able to spot your own RVPH, okay? So that's the stock we're going to talk about today. It was beautiful. But anyway, so let's start right off at the beginning. Is it low float? You can see this is a 6 million float stock, so that meets our criteria of less than 10 million. And we talked about that in the previous episode, why we care about low float, supply and demand, etc. So this is beautiful, because the lower the float, the bigger the potential for the big move. And here we are way below 10 million, which is perfect, exactly what we look for. Next thing we want to know, is the stock up more than 10%? So you can see this stock closed the day yesterday at $4.30. It was up in the morning up to $5, which is, 15 to 20%. So it's already gapping up big. It's on our radar. There is news, a catalyst, which is what we care about. So again, early in the day, already went from 425 up to 5, over 5 actually, right into that 945 window, which is our favorite time to trade. So you got your big percent gainer. Next, does it have unusual volume? You can see that the 60-day average for trading volume for this stock is 36,000 shares a day, the entire day. And then let me jump to a 5-minute chart, which is my favorite time frame. And you can see the first candle of the day, or one of the first candles, this traded 1 million shares in one 5-minute candle. I kind of think 1 million in 5 minutes is a little higher than 36,000 in an entire day. So that's exactly what I talked about. I mean, that is exponentially higher. And you can see at the end of the day, it traded 85 million shares on the day. So even middle of the day, this thing's trading 30, 40 million, which is quite a bit more than 30,000, I think. So anyway, we've got our unusual volume we're looking for. Next, is it a former runner? We can jump back to that daily chart, and you see this stock has gone from one day, just recently in just this year, the stock has gone from 7 to 10 in 1.5 days. It went from 7 to 10 again, went from the mid 8s all the way up to almost 10 again. So you can see those are 20% moves, 30% moves. This stock has ran just this year. So now we know if we get that catalyst, there's a good chance that this stock has a good potential to run again. But that's all we're looking for, past runs, because now day traders have actually pretty good memories, especially when it comes to tickers. So is there a catalyst? And yes, we've got it this morning. It dropped at 6 a.m. that Reviva announces in full details positive phase 2 clinical trial results for acute schizophrenia. Okay, now listen, you don't have to have a medical degree. Okay, you don't even need to understand what this is saying. Just know, I mean, schizophrenia is an issue out there, obviously. Phase 2 news always moves stocks. And then at the end of the day, as I mentioned, we just want something. We want something for people to get excited about. And this press release dropped at 6 a.m. this morning. the stock never fully broke through that pre-market high until 10 a.m. So that's telling you that the confirmation is there, and that's telling you that everyone cares about what the news is. You don't need a medical degree. You don't need to be, an expert in schizophrenia to know if the news matters. We just want buzzwordy, volume, key levels, all these things we talk about. So we're checking another box there. Now, is there a whole dollar, half dollar break? That area I keep talking about is that $5 or even the $6 level. I mean, you can see when this thing broke 5 early in the morning, spiked all the way up to 6 almost immediately. Then when it breaks, it pulled back. When it broke 6 again, spikes all the way up to 7 plus, and then it just repeats through the day. When it breaks 7, goes straight to 8. Look at that candle, at that 1245 candle, beautiful. Once it breaks that whole dollar, half dollar of 8, goes straight to 9, all the way up to 950. So that's what we like to see, these stocks that respond to those key levels. So you could have been trading this at 5, 6, 7, 8, heck, even as 9. I mean, it would have been tough to get an exit into the afternoon, but even if you bought as late as 9, there was theoretically 50 cents of upside. Not bad for a day trade. So now we got a stock that responds well to whole dollar, half dollars. Next thing we're looking for, are there key levels to base our risk off of? And yeah, I think look back at like that $6 break in the morning, we can risk off of VWAP, which VWAP we're going to talk about later is our number one day trading pattern for newer traders and really all day traders. So if you bought that $6 break in the afternoon, you could have been risking off of VWAP down in the 580s. That's 20 cents of risk. Stock immediately goes to $7. That's $1 of upside. That's 5 to 1 risk to reward. I mean, in day trading, 3 to 1 is almost ideal. So if you're getting 5 to 1, hey, that gives you tons of time to exit if the stock hits your goal and then pulls back. So now we've got a high risk to reward, unusual volume, catalyst, basically checking every box so far. Next, we've got that area to risk off of. So now we jump over to what is the quality of the setup. We've got a micro float stock at 6 million shares. We've got areas to risk off of, clear, whole dollar, half dollars, or even VWAP, that number one day trading indicator for beginners. And then we're going to rate that catalyst. And to me, phase 2 schizophrenia news is pretty substantial. So if you're looking at this in the morning, you're seeing FDA news, you're seeing a big buzzwordy topic that could really move this stock. So ultimately, I would probably rate that catalyst. I never really want to give anything an A plus or even an A, but I think that indicator, based on that headline, based on the news, FDA phase 2, that's a solid B plus catalyst, which means this stock should have been one of your number one watches. And then we're going to drop down to our ideal setup. I would be looking at those whole dollar, half dollars, whether it be 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up. Grade your setup. To me, you're checking every box on this one. Everything checks, and you've got a B plus catalyst. However you rate your grade, whether it be with letters or numbers, this has got to be in the upper echelon of where you would rate a trade. And, whether it's an 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of 10, it's definitely going to be one that you're going to look to capitalize on because of all those, especially the volume. Again, this thing ended the day at 90 million shares in one day with an average 60-day trading volume of 35,000. This has to rate at the top of your list. Then follow through. As I talked in that last episode, write down your stops. Stick to them. Force yourself to be disciplined on your stops, because the biggest thing I want to tell you is all 15 years I've been trading, you got to remember there's always another opportunity. But especially in 2020, 2021, you can't bag hold, you can't violate your stops, because I'm telling you, wait 5 minutes, there'll be another runner. Don't put yourself in bad situations, because that's what's going to end up blowing up your account and taking you out of the game. You got to stay in the game to be learning to grow your account. So that being said, use your worksheets. Go to StocksToTrade.com/free training to get access to the weekly watch list, to get access to all of the materials we're talking about. And next, in episode 4, we're going to talk about the best morning pattern for new day traders. This is when the rubber meets the road. This is what you're going to focus on, and this is the #1 pattern I want you to learn first.